Mr. Hilary Beckles.
Thank you very much, everyone. Rojas royalty. In the Caribbean, we have a vessel which we call the University of the West Indies. And this vessel is meant to be the carrier of the revolutionary spirit of the people of African descent and all of those who are committed to justice and freedom. For many years, I sought to be a good passenger on this vessel. I stayed in my cabin and I did my part, contributing to the movement of this vessel through time and through space. And then one day, I got a message that as from the 1st of August, you are going to be the captain of that vessel. Always a scary prospect to be responsible for leadership. Looking into the future and not seeing very clearly. Not seeing as clearly as you would wish, but yet you are required to provide visioning. How can you provide visioning if you yourself cannot see very clearly? So what you do, you send for those who can and who have demonstrated that they can see clearly. And I went for Don. I'm sorry. And I said to Don, could you find your way back to the Caribbean? We need your help. I would wish you to be my chief strategist. I would wish to center the concept of liberation and of justice at the center of our strategic planning as a university. Could you come and be my communications director? That was not my concept. I said, could you be my press secretary? He said, I've done that already. He said, I'm going to be your communications strategist. That was his. And we got together. His office was down the corridor. And we embarked on this journey together. There were times when I saw that Don was not as strong as he ought to be. And on 2 occasions I recall saying to Don, listen, I'm going to pick you up at 5 o'clock and we are going walking. And I would pick him up. We would walk 2 or 3 miles. And we would do this from time to time. Not having Don in that corridor is, for me, very painful. We miss Don. But Don would say, if I cannot do it for you by meeting with you every day, I can do it for you electronically. We will be online 24/7. We will do this. We will continue to do this. But I was comforted by the fact that Don is an individual, but Don is also an idea. Don is a very large and powerful idea. And a large and powerful idea from a small, tiny place. St. Vincent. But let me tell you something about St. Vincent. The Europeans came into the Caribbean with their colonizing armadas, military acts of terrorism, genocide. They came in to conquer. The island of Barbados fell in 1627. Jamaica fell in 1655, and on and on. St. Vincent resisted for 200 years and fought the battle against the Europeans for 200 years. And it was St. Vincent that was last to fall. So when you speak of the Caribbean, and you think of the bigger islands, Cuba and Puerto Rico and Jamaica, let me tell you, it was St. Vincent that was the very last of them to be conquered. It fought to the very end, 1795, 150 years after Barbados, after St. Kitts, all of them. The people of St. Vincent were fighting a guerrilla warfare in the mountains, denying the Europeans settlement on that island. It is the most revolutionary tradition of all of our islands. And it is not surprising that Don Rojas is from St. Vincent. He's carrying all of that stuff in his blood. It is not surprising that Ralph Gonzalez was the Prime Minister. All of that comes together to make perfect political sense. Granddaddy. But we know that creative, courageous, and confident people do not build walls. They build bridges. Don has been building bridges between St. Vincent and all of the islands of the Caribbean. He has built bridges across Colombia, Brazil, wherever you go. You heard Panama, all across Central and South America. Don Rojas has built bridges. You go to South Africa, West Africa, Don has built bridges. They all have heard of Don Rojas. Wherever you go in this country, from Florida to Alaska, Don Rojas has built bridges. No one, to my knowledge, has built bridges so far and wide across the black world since Marcus Garvey than Don Rojas. No one. And I'm not talking about men and women who are famous and who are well known. I am talking about men and women who have built bridges, gone into communities across the world, met the grassroots people, met the local organizers, and built bridges across the world. This is what Don Rojas has done. We celebrate, therefore, an idea. An idea that there will be global justice. Yes. There will be global justice. We are not here for the short term. No. We are here for how long it takes. You know, Don and I would discuss history. And I would say to Don, it took our people 400 years in this hemisphere to eradicate slavery. 400 years of our struggle to uproot slavery from our soil. Then it took us another 150 years for civil rights, for human rights, the right to vote, the right to be a citizen, the right for justice in civil society. And now we are into the next phase of our struggle, reparatory justice. It is not the final phase of the revolution, but it is approaching the apex of that revolution. And if it takes 100 years, 200 years, no matter how long it takes, generation by generation, we are going forward. Yes, we are. And it's because we are people who have built pyramids all over the world. The concept of building pyramids is important. We don't build walls, we build pyramids. We, the black people of this world, we build pyramids. And why do we do that? It might take 500 years to build a pyramid. And you have to ask yourself, why do people set out to do something that will take 500 years? They will not see it. They will not see the end of it. Their children will not see the end of it. Their great-grandchildren will not see the end of it. No one will see the end of it. So why do they start? But this is precisely why. Because it is an intergenerational vision that goes on and on and on with the imagination focus on an endpoint until it is done. And this is why the pharaohs did this. Keep the Africans focused. Keep them focused. We are going to start out to do something today. It is going to take us 500 years to complete it, but we are going to start. That is the mentality that has long been embedded in black civilization. We do not think of tomorrow. We think of the tomorrow behind the tomorrow. And so we are approaching the apex of this reparations pyramid that we have been building for 500 years. And now we are approaching the pyramid. Wonderful to see and to hear of all of the political leaders on the progressive side of this conversation committing themselves. In the Caribbean realm, we have a joke that's going on that the only one who doesn't have to pay reparations is Biden because he worked for an African for free for 8 years. That's a joke. That's a joke that we have in the Caribbean. He doesn't have to pay. He worked for an African for 8 years. But, okay. And so we are going forward. Don is at the center of all of this. I cannot imagine the revolutionary movement of the Caribbean, the social justice movement. I cannot imagine the bridges that he has built between, let us take the core from Selma, Alabama, all the way down to Salvador, Brazil. That core of plantation America that has entrapped our people, 20 million of our people, for 400 years. It doesn't matter if you are in Alabama, it doesn't matter if you are in Mississippi, Jamaica, Brazil, Colombia. It is one household, all of us. It is one family. It is one history, it's one struggle. And what Don has done for us is to show us how to connect each element of the family. So, yes, we are here in New York. We could have been in New Orleans. We could have been in Bogota. We could have been in Kingston, Jamaica, anywhere. Don has been there in those places, laying the foundation for us to travel and to do what we have to do. Don is part of us. Don is at the center of our imagination. He has shown us the way. I cannot think beyond Don. And this is why I call him the one Don. He knows that there are men who would prefer to be a Don one. But we call him the one Don. So for us, he is the one Don. Not the Don one, Karen, he is the one Don. And that is how we describe him. I say, even when I would see him in the morning, I would say, good morning, one Don. He hates it when I call him Don Corleone. But I say, good morning, the one Don. Blessings. Now, my final point is this. Next week, we were planning project in Jamaica. When Ron reached out and said, the 8th and the 11th, we need to hear you, you need to come here on the 11th. We were planning a program called Conversation with Kings and Queens, a project within the reparatory justice movement. We were bringing 6 kings, 4 kings and 2 queens out of West Africa to the Caribbean to sit and speak with all of the young people, to explain to them how it came to be that many of the kings and queens of West Africa, of Southwest Africa, how you all fought against the slave traders, how you mobilized your countries to defend your people, but how in the age of terrorism, many of you were destroyed. Your nations were destroyed, your states were destroyed by this terrorism unleashed upon the African continent. And we were bringing them to give them an opportunity to confront the propaganda that has come out of Western intellectualism about the political leadership of Africa in the age of this Holocaust. But I told Ron, I'm going to put those programs on hold because speaking about the kings and queens of West Africa is a conversation we must have. But we have revolutionary royalty right here in the Caribbean, and we are dealing here in this hemisphere with our revolutionary and reparatory justice royalty. Let us deal with this. And I accepted this invitation, not as a result of any political formulation. In fact, Ron knew that I was going to be here anyway. I don't know when he called. All he needed to do was to say, listen, put it in your diary, Ron, and here it is. Why? Because we cannot be separated. There is no power, there is no force around us that can separate us. Don is my brother. Don is my blood. He is our leader. He has laid down the reality of it, given everything you have for the struggle of your people. You have to hear Don speak about running through the bushes and the gullies of Grenada while the CIA were looking for him. They were hunting him down on the island. They were hunting him down. Helicopters, and he's going through the bushes with his family, trying to survive what was going to be certain death. But he survived. And like many before him and many to come, we have to stand in support. We have to stand in support. We need Don Rojas. All of us who can contribute to his medical care, we urge you to do so. Because he's been taking care of our intellectual care, our political, he's been caring for us. All his life, he has been caring for us. It is now our time to take care of his body. That's the easy part, taking care of his body. Let us find the resources to do this. As I said, he has built all those bridges that have allowed us to cross from New York to New Orleans, to Jamaica, to Barbados, to Salvador, Columbus, to Peru. Don is that infrastructure, that voice across the Atlantic from whence we came. He is the man who has made those connections for us. That was the heavy lifting. That was the heavy lifting. Now we have to do the light lifting. He has done the heavy lifting. University of the West Indies, all of us in the Caribbean, all of us downstream in those islands, all of us into the mountains of St. Vincent, the hallowed turf of St. Vincent that has been home of the revolution. Home of the revolution, the heartbeat of it, Chateauway, and all of those Africans and indigenous Amerindian people who held up this crime against humanity and pushed them back to all of those ancestors, all of that blood that is running in your stream, Don. Blessings. Blessings, my friend. Blessings.
All right, Professor Hilary Beckles. Okay, is everybody all right?